Alright, here we go. I should have like all my resistances fixed except for poison and pierce, right? They're like a little bit below 8%, but that should be fine still. Let's pop the experience potion here and go ahead. Like, I'm gonna need 80% pierce for Act 2. I kinda want 80% poison right now as well, but oh well. It's not working, then it's not working, right? I actually went to ultimate before level 69 this time. Hopefully we're still gonna be able to hit 94 after like reasonable time. What do I max up next? I wanna max up this, right? Get the physique. Yeah, so don't forget about Valdis. On Ultimate he gives you like a shit ton of experience actually. So you wanna rescue this guy as well. $25 more bonus. Pork jam. Yeah. Yeah, usually I would say level 69 is like the perfect level to like transition from elite to ultimate at. I mean, it's like generally speaking like the best level, but I mean to the like transition from elite to ultimate is also like the best level. I mean, yeah, you're totally right. It's relevant. There's a big difference there as well. I mean, for example, Grim Dawn, as far as I know, playtesters in Grim Dawn don't get paid, right? Like, they get, like, the games for free, but that's it. Like, the actual testing they do is, like, only done by developers themselves. As far as I know. I mean, yeah, playtesters do test new content as well, and that's tough, but... like, real testing is only done by developers. The transitions from normal to ultimate at 78. You do normal leveling only and then go to ultimate. Yeah, that's one way to do it as well. I know, elite just gives more experience, man. It's like faster to get to 69 on elite than on normal. If you can kill a Krieg on elite, that is like Krieg on elite, that's like actually like the hardest challenge. When you're leveling like this. Dude, Act 1 is so easy, like... It's crazy how fast everything dies here. Oh, maybe not these guys. Yeah, I just didn't fight any elites yet, right? Or any like boss. Right? What, level 69? Hey, Kabasteinen. Welcome, welcome. I mean... because of 69, you know?
Well met.
Also allowed 228. Thank you so much for the follow. For the ministry. Right, one reference. I felt it's like real life reference. Do we have enough of these? Yes, we do. Okay, perfect. So this is like the level, what is it, 70 ring, right? Yeah. This is like, for example, one reason why level 69 is like the perfect level to transition into ultimate. At least when I like speed leveling. Because this ring, this left primary ring that I just got, is for like level 70, and that ring is pretty nice. For leveling. In this case, I probably won't be able to use it though, because I do need the pierce resistance on rings over all that poison and wit. Right. It's kinda sad, but what can you do? Milton is level 69 as well, he knows what's good. Yo bots, how are you, man? Welcome and happy new year to you as well. Nice to see you. Look at Julius, he was level 70, that's why he died so fast. He wasn't level 69. Actually, do I want to do the devotion thing? I don't really have to. I can just skip this part totally. .94 for Act 7 though. Usually I try to hit 94 in Act 3 on Ultimate. At least when speed leveling. Also, I don't really need to go here on Ultimate. I have like all the devotion points already. So there's not really anything of interest down there for me right now. And nice to see you as well, Bob. I hope you had some nice celebrations as well. I do want to grab this Rift Gate here though.
Oh, hello.
By the way, is my cam like zoomed in today, or is it just like normal? Maybe I'm like sitting a little bit to the side. Yeah, this is how I usually sit? I don't know. 69. I wanna grab, what's it called? This guy here. I'll grab him first. There's a normal 1 retaliation build, first poison blood. I'm actually not sure. I'm not too like I don't know too much about retaliation. I believe the fire paladin is also really good actually. Like the ranged fire retaliation thing is also really good. Crazy good. But I mean it's not as tanky as say the sword and board physical or lightning ones. The thing with the physical ones though is they have to face tank, right? This one is gonna use a shield, but he's not gonna have to face tank, right? Because like grasping lines don't require you to face tank, right? You can just drop them down and then cut around and still be pretty tanky and still do lots of damage. It's always kind of hard to say like what is best in Grim Dawn, because yeah, this is gonna be good for that for this, etc. Right? Chaos Retal. I mean, the elemental to physical conversion would not be. I mean, the elemental to chaos conversion would not necessarily be a problem, right? But the physical to chaos conversion, the retaliation, I don't know. How would you even make that work? I actually don't know how to make that work. I mean, you have physical, fire, lightning, and acid. Those are like the retaliation damage traps that you can usually play in. Right? All others are kind of meme. But I mean, those 4 are pretty good. I have like no idea about lightning. I know there's like the Dawn. There's only like 1 lightning build, right? The Dawn guard set. Water basically, right? Or Archon, I guess, works as well. I guess water is better though. Yeah, water should be better. Maybe even tactician actually. I can also do tactician for that. I guess it's tactician or water. But yeah, I actually don't know how good the lightning one is. I've seen Fox, or Fox, or however you pronounce his name. Fox, right? Play it. So I don't know, but then again, POHX, I'm just gonna call him like that. But then again, he's like mostly a PoE guy, and he does know, like for a PoE player, he does know a lot about Grim Dawn, but compared to like good Grim Dawn builders, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say like how good it really is. How far did he go with it? Like, did he? But I mean, it still seemed really good. So I don't know. Like the lightning retaliation thing is not that weird in the manual. It's actually pretty good now. It got buffed quite a bit, so it's not that bad. Should be pretty decent overall. I don't know how it's like compared to lightning or acid or fire, but Andrews man, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, I watched a little bit of leveling as well. That was like too painful to watch. Just, I mean, not because he was playing bad, it was, like he was playing it perfectly, but just like leveling with retaliation is like pretty slow, right? I mean, even what I'm doing right now is also pretty slow. I do have all the leveling gear though, so it's kinda not quite as slow at least, but it's still pretty slow. I didn't, like, I wasn't able to catch like too much of his like endgame stuff then. I mean, a proper retaliation build should be able to kill Ravager easily, right? For example. I don't know if he killed the Ravager, for example, or I don't know, Jogan or stuff like that. He said he wouldn't be able to do kill Celestials. Well, then it's certainly worse than physical retal. I mean, maybe you can optimize this build a little bit to make it better, but like the physical retaliation thing can just kill everything, right? Except for like maybe creative entertainment, because that one is kind of hard to do on a like retaliation build. I guess the grasping winds are like grasping winds would be really good against creative entertainment then. Or like at least decent, because it's kind of like Bomberman, right? You just throw your stuff and run around. Depends on like how fast you're able to kill it though. If you're not fast enough to kill it, then I guess it's probably worse than the Sorcerer against Crit, because it wouldn't have that much burn damage as well. Like this one will only be acid damage, flat acid. Not really any poison, right? And also Archon has no mirror of reactors, right? So I don't know, mirror is just so good. Like better than anything that Shaman has to offer. I don't know, Shaman is just so weak defensively, I feel like. Like Wendigo Totem is nice, like if you can make use of the leech then it's fine. But to like have full effect of the leech you kind of have to like play a two-hander melee guy, right? Whoops, this was actually the wrong way. What am I doing? Took the long way for no reason, even though the short way was the right way. Whoops. Do not change an elite and ultimate. They are definitely easier on elite than an ultimate. As far as I know. Yo, Diamondus, happy new year to you as well. Welcome, welcome. Because you have more resistances. That might be true, but that's the only reason why. Might actually be true. I don't know. Alright, 70. Oh, Torchlight 3, nice. I've actually never played a single Torchlight game so far. I've heard people say it's pretty nice. But I don't know, like I've watched some videos of it and it seems really cartoony, right? I don't know if I like that. Probably not too much. But if like the gameplay is good, then I might not care too much about the cartoony stuff. And play it anyways. Yo, welcome back, Zorok. Oh, Mesmer, he already split. Let's just skip him then. I'm gonna waste time with him. Like, when that guy doesn't split, like, in the first second you fight him, then it's actually fine to kill him, but if he splits, like, in the first second you kill him, and you don't have, like, a high damage build, then it's just annoying to kill him. Oh, it was on sale last week, so, well, I missed that one. Imagine being as picky as Ocelot. Did you not work out today? Adios. Just lack off. Alright, I want all the 80 crystals here, right? Let me grab the 80 crystals here. I'm so desperately in need of 80 crystals, it's not even funny actually. Hola tutor, how are you? Welcome, welcome, happy new year. So the most important thing against Krieg is just that he can sustain his damage and that you don't have to run, right? Because if you don't run, then he's never gonna take out his crossbow and shoot you with it. And that's like his most Monka's, like the scariest ability that he has, right? You just have to like be able to sustain through his Fuma Wrath ability, and that's it. If you can do that, then it's pretty easy actually. I mean, one Krieg should never be the east challenge, like the hardest challenge for you, but he got a little bit buffed, right? So he's not quite as weak as before. Yeah, that's actually true. Like, I mean, for the last buff, right? Kinda like that.
I need some time. Captain saying you impressed? Well, that's a good for me.
I wanted to pick your brain on my Retaliation devotions. Wait, what? You check builds at the end of the stream? Yeah, I can do that, of course. I can always do that, like every single stream. Let's get the one shot here, right? I mean, it's not even a one shot though, it's just hidden spoils actually, never mind. Not really worth it. I mean, if you're not like swimming in legendaries, then it is worth it, but hidden stashes are always pretty good. Let's try not to die to random trash mobs, right? Actually, the retaliation damage is like starting to ramp up. I still have to think about like where to put my very last devotion point, right? Like where do I put this last point here, right? AOM released Kuba. Holy shit, that was quite a rapidity. I mean, if they bring back like, I mean, I don't know. The beast nemesis should never be the hardest nemesis though, right? Like the beast nemesis is like the one that you meet first on like 99% of your builds. And also if you're like a new player, you will always meet Kuba first probably. Unless you don't go to like Act 5 ever. So I don't know, they should maybe increase the difficulty of the other nemesis, like nemesis and stuff. Like having Kuba be the hard one to beat? I don't know about that. That doesn't feel right. Like the beast nemesis should not be the hard one to beat. Like the other ones should be harder. I feel like isn't Grabba harder? I mean now yeah, but back then no, Kuba was the hardest. Like we were talking about release Ashes of Mammoth, so like I don't know, October, November 2000 wait 17 actually, right?
What do you want?
Also don't kill this guy if you want to farm Crownless Gang, right? Like at release AOM, Kuba was just ridiculously strong, and then he got nerfed. Like pretty soon. Which is fine, because like Kuba cover should not be the hardest nemesis in the game. Like he's literally the one that you meet first, so I don't know. They could have made like Ravathul or other ones even stronger though. But if you think about it, like what's it called? Goes like a hero mob. Kinda. But most of them are at like Benjar, Vadron, I don't know, they're not that hard. Where do we put the remaining points now, guys? Yeah, right. The Heart of the Wild, you just don't wanna die now. I mean in Ultimate here. So yeah, I'm gonna switch over from this to this, right? Maybe? Yeah, I should probably.
I cannot.
Yeah, I feel like Grava and Alexander are in a good place. They're actually like reasonably strong. I mean, Grava's kinda easy once you know how to play around him. But his 95 orbs are like still ridiculous, so... yeah. Actually, I wanted to fix my Pierce last round. Oops. Oopsie daisies. I guess it's fine for now though. Wait, where's... what? Oh, it's over here, right? Whoops. How did I get lost in this place? That's like the first time I ever got lost here. What the hell? he's over here, right? There he is. Let's not farm torches here. Yeah. Those nemesis are like way too weak. I mean, Fabius can be Moncast, right? With what's it called? Notched Bane, for example. That's the craziest thing about Fabius. Like, sometimes he is super duper easy, and then sometimes he's like crazy because of the weapon he rolled. Fabius is pretty inconsistent. I don't know. Iron Maiden's... she's like, on average, probably a little bit harder than Fabius even, but that average is pretty weak. That would be another option, right? He just equips like GG weapons all the time. Or maybe buff him, but make him not equip Notched Bane, for example. That would probably be more consistent. Yeah, Valderon's like super weak. He's pretty annoying in like SR or Crucible, but he's super weak. I have seen people die to him though. I don't know how, but... What about Muzlaki? Muzlaki can like slap you too hard, right? Sometimes. Is Muzlaki fine? I don't know. Like, they could buff Muzlaki as well a bit. But I feel like lots of people are struggling with them as well, because Muzlaki is one of those that you also fight pretty early on, right? Because usually, say you're like playing solo Self-Found or like fresh start, something like that, right? Then Muzlaki is gonna be one of those nemesis that you're gonna like fight a lot probably, because you're gonna try to farm SOT, because SOT is like one of basically the first dungeon that you can do, right? And while doing SOT, to farm for gear, you will encounter Muzlaki a lot, and if you're not like decently geared, then you will just die to him actually. I don't know, like from an experienced player's perspective, sure, they could need a buff. I mean, they could use a buff. Basically all of the vanilla ones, right? And maybe Kubakabra as well. But from like a beginner's standpoint, I don't know. I feel like they're actually all okay the way they are. Maybe Valderon and Ben. Like Valderon and Benjar maybe need like a small buff, but the others are, I guess, fine. Yeah, okay, Iron Maiden maybe as well, and like they could buff Fabius and make him not spawn much pain, right? What do we use? I have no idea what we use here actually. I don't need anything from Shaman except for that stuff, right? It's like the only thing I need. Just need grasping wands on this buff line here. I mean, having to prepare for Nemesis is not something that is a bad thing, right? I mean, what you're saying, for example, like you can only fight them when you preemptively use a seal, for example, Inquisitor seal or something like that, that's fine. Like that's part of the reason why they're like considered nemesis, right? That you have to like prepare properly for them. But the other than that, I guess I'm gonna use Crouching Verdict then, right? Or maybe it does Clarity of Purpose. Oh, you can also use the Shield Throw, right? Reprisal. I should maybe use the Shield Throw because of the Retaliation damage here. This is way more than this, right? It's not like the same, but it's only like a 1 pointer. Then again, the other thing ticks like every second, right? And this one doesn't. This one doesn't. This one has another 18% retail damage added to attack though. It's gonna be good at like level 76 now. Before that, not so much. I probably won't even use it right now. It's not really worth it. So this does convert. It converts the fire on it, right? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, it does matter. Like, if the transmitter converted physical as well, that would be way better. Or just physical instead of acid would be very nice as well. Because we have global fire to acid conversion anyway, right? Like, actually 100%. Even while leveling. BBC series Dracula. Well, I have not. From the Sherlock series. Right, I think I did watch like 1 or 2 of those Sherlock episodes. It's like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago though, but I did watch them, or like maybe 5 years ago. But is it even that old? I don't know. BBC Sherlock. Oh, 2010. Yeah, it's like 10 years ago then. First episode. When I normally swap out Lokar, personally I swap it out at 94. But that's like a little bit sketchy sometimes. Swapping out at 75 or at 50 or at 84 is like another. Those are like the other levels where you can switch it out, right? I don't know, I'm just too lazy. I'm like used to do like just level with Lokar to 94. It gets a little bit tricky sometimes though. That's like also the main reason why I don't want to go to like further than like early Act 4 without the, like with the Lokar set. Like I wouldn't dare to, for example, kill Logorian on Lokar set or like any of the Act 5, 6 or 7 stuff in Ultimate with Lokar set. It's just a little bit too monk-ass. Black cockroach. What the hell? Wait, maybe this one's gonna be nice. I mean, it is nice, but I need more spirit. What the hell? I do actually need spirit for the build. This one is interesting, right? Like, really interesting. I should at least keep it, I guess. Also, holy shit, look at this high roll on the resistances and the OA actually. What the hell? Give me that. Right, I'll another one of these, right? Divine Flame over here. And we can just take off this soul shard here. And put it here. And we're up to 77% pierciness.
Well, we have to hit them hard.
Lower to 94 unless you have really solid 75 set items. Yeah, I would say so as well. I don't keep any 75 items, so for me it's like always lower to 94. But yeah, usually what Sorok said is right. Wait, that reduces DA by 1/5. Wait, what? Why am I using Crushing Verdict then? Also, this is 33% retail damage, man. I don't know, this is just not good enough yet. I'm just gonna use like Haven instead or something like that. Like, Final Stop active is not bad actually, it's pretty good. Interesting. It doesn't give me less skill recharge. No. It has more meter radius though. Also more energy cost. I don't know. I guess 5 is pretty decent when you're using a shield, right? It's just max out Haven, I guess. Six is good enough. What else? Okay, let's just take this one. You get to make more builds when you swap up. I mean, yeah, but it always, like switching out items that you don't need. It's like, or like, I don't know, like every item switch costs time, right? With every time that you waste on like switching around items, you will get to like 94 later, and the later you get to 94, the less endgame builds you have, I guess. I don't know, like the thing is, you would have to like keep so many like 75 sets. So many different ones for like all the builds, right? I don't know. No, barely able to fist him. It's kinda okay actually. Think fast, swap fast. I mean, yeah. If you have like your items ready in your stash and you know what to pick and you have all the sets, then yeah, you can just do it really fast. That's true. Yeah, that's also true. 94 to not 100 with the final setup. I mean, I'm kind of doing the same right now, but like with worse. Wait, this one's really good, right? We need to use this instead of this Royal Crown thing, I guess. Maybe not. The Royal Crown is like really good though. If we get like poison resistance augments, we don't need the ring anymore that I'm using right now, the other ring. This one. But for poison resistance augments, I would need to be revered with Devil's Crossing. Maybe we're gonna be revered with them after a Crown. Usually I should be revered with Devil's Crossing after Crown Day, but I fucked up and yeah. I actually forgot to use the merits on this character until like level 50. So we might have a reputation problem here. Okay. How the fuck did I survive that? Okay, that's interesting. I actually survived because of the level up, right? Holy shit, dude. Almost didn't have a reputation problem anymore, right? That's actually true. How did I take so much damage though? Like, what the hell? I guess it was those armor stuff? Interesting. That's also like one of the reasons why I usually like slipping over to like a GG rolled, or like a GG set for your build is better than Loker set at this point of the game, because yeah, stuff like this will probably not happen when you have more armor than I just had. But I mean, this also makes things more fun for you to watch, right? I guess. What do I even do here? Maybe that's actually best level up timing of 2020. That's actually true, yeah. I will never get the same timing again in this whole decade, I guess. Or year or whatever, like, depending on when the decade starts for you. Don't need to rep on your dad. I should do need a rep though. Yeah, thanks for the clip, man. It was super duper close, I don't know, it was like 500 HP or something like that. Or 700 maybe. Pretty monkas. This guy is so lucky, people leave. Like, I would give myself this comment for that. Oh shit, yeah, there we go. Where am I going? Hello? $800. Alright. Yo, thank you so much for the sub, that Prime. Overcautious Gamer. And Happy New Year to you as well. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Hope you had a nice New Year's Eve and nice celebration. Code of Wild and DK. Hopefully, that's not a sign that this build is gonna decay just as fast, right? Yeah, that level up, holy shit. Yeah, I guess I could use that as well. Yeah. Some more power from an overcautious gamer, definitely. I was like already failed my first like New Year's resolution, right? On my first stream. My first retail build, it's number 3 actually. I have not yet done a physical warlord though. Okay, physical retaliation warlord at least. I did like the only warlord I did was the Targo internal trauma one. I did like fire ranged, like a ranged fire paladin retaliation. And I did the poison sentinel with dagger sets. Yeah, the warlord is like, if you don't know what to do, then you just do a warlord, right? Can't ever go wrong with that. Yeah, back then it was new and OP, right? Now it's actually got nerfed like quite a lot, right? So it's still probably one of the better retaliation builds out there. But the other ones are like, they caught up quite a bit actually. Like fire, lightning, acids. All of them are pretty decent now as well. So, I like really good as well. Double Aether crystals, woohoo! Give me those crystals. Also, we got Demolitionist Crawley Signet of the Aether. That's not good enough, right? It's just Pierce Rest and nothing else. If that one roll like, I don't know, poison acid resistance on top, it would be so juicy, but well. Yeah, I can see that, sorry. What do you mean I can't do sustained 1.5 million DPS with 8k armor, 50% physical rest and all the builds? Yeah. That's how broken it was actually. On release. Like release retaliation, physical drain essence and like generic warlord. I don't know, we're probably like one of the most busted builds and quite a long, if not ever, forever in Dawn, I don't know. I mean, not in forever, right? Because like zero cooldown, Shadow Strike, and like pre-release vanilla was even more broken. The red nerds are for Crucible. They unlock Gladiator instantly on other characters. Cold damage for life. I think I like visually, I like Cold and Acid the most. But on this build, Poison Ash is actually not as shiny because I'm not using the Abomination proc, right? Because that one is actually kind of useless for Retaliation. But on like a generic acid poison build, Abomination proc is so good. I don't know, it feels so nice. I feel like one of the most satisfying things in Grim Dawn are proccing Abomination or Amatok with Ring of Steel. That just feels so good, I don't know why. But I really learned, like I used to not like fire damage for a long time, but ever since the Uzuin stat rework I actually like fire damage as well a lot. Because the Bombermans have been like one of the most fun play, like one of the most fun builds for me ever. Like both the Shibreaker and the Sorcerer, and also the Elementalist that I played before that as well. Like those three have been really nice. The Elementalist was lightning damage though, but I actually don't like lightning damage too much though visually. Like it's too flashy for me. I mean, I guess if you like flashy things, then it's great, but it's a little bit too much for me. And yeah, visually, things like vitality damage are pretty boring, right? But it's really strong damage shot. Probably one of the strongest as well. I think, isn't lightning still the strongest right now? Like lightning, cold, and vitality are like the 3 strongest damage types. Something like that, right? Oh, and Bleed is actually lots of fun to play as well. But it's not quite as visually appealing, right? What the hell, dude? I'm standing outside of... Holy moly! Yeah, I was gonna say I'm standing outside of the Vendigo totem, I'm not getting the kill. And there it was. Damage. Dude, why is the Archon so hard to level? I mean, yeah, it's just the way I level it, I guess. This shrine is one of the harder parts in Ultimate, but still. Yo, Kerplunk, hey, how are you? Welcome back. The slasher, the better. Then you probably like bleeding bolts, or I don't know, physical is also pretty not... I mean, Auto-Run is a little bit flashy, or like Azraka, but other than that, it's not really that flashy, right? Yeah, that's true. Like, Frostburn got kinda killed after Rune of Hagarad. I mean, Rune of Hagarad was also not really a Frostburn build, right? You can do, like, Shadow Strike and TSS though, right? Kinda. Like, Shadow Strike, Spellbreaker... It's a pretty decent Frostburn build, I would say. But also that one is not really that much about Frostburn, right? It's I mean, but yeah, you can make it work, like TSS and Shadow Strike Frostburn. It's definitely okay. Rune of Hagarad would be fine as well, I guess, but the Frostburn part about it could maybe... maybe they should actually buff the Frostburn part of Rune of Hagarad, right? Ever since they, what's it called? Nerf the shotgun thing. I feel like it's only fair to buff the Frostburn part a little bit then. Oh yeah, by the way, Kerplunk, you need to watch that clip. You need to watch this clip here. I think I've never been this lucky. Like that. Level up was pretty handy. $9K, more like 800. $9K. Ah. What is this? XD spam in my chat? Are you trying to trigger me? Ah, 14k here, there we go. Max efficiency, right? I mean, otherwise it would have been a waste, right? Like, if I was full HP and then just leveled like that, I mean, that would be just a waste of level up, right? Okay, that's gonna be interesting again, right? Because we're putting way too much here at once. Like, literally pulling them into ourselves again. And we need to kill all the priests first, otherwise it's gonna be a fiesta anyway. And also we have a Gargantuan in there, who deals like Wonka's damage. And they're like only priests here, what the hell? Alright, we got the absorption now. Okay, maybe I should like pull the whole level here. It's a little bit too much. It's my Fizzrus even, it's pretty bad as well now, it's 7%. Yikes. Like usually I would try to compensate my low armor from local set with high Fizzrus, but yeah, about that. Priests, little priests. Dude. Gargantuan, like, so annoying. See, enrage a bit. Alright, easy clip. Next heal in 20 minutes. Especially at level 100. Yeah, I mean, you have to save your level 101 for exactly that moment, right? That's why you always see me like close to level 101, but never actually getting there, because I want to save that heal for the crucial moment. Just over here, never over 12. Fight the Ravager as 99, and when you kill him, you level up. But I mean, if I kill him, then I don't need to heal, right? It would be a waste of not understanding this properly, manual. Like, if I kill him and I level up then he's already dead, right? I would need to like fight him and then pull like a random trash mob from the board, right? And then kill that random trash mob at the right moment, and then level up with that trash mob, right? That would be perfection. But I'm not sure if you can actually pull a trash mob that far. There's some debuffs. I mean, yeah, he has some debuffs. But what does that have to do with leveling? Like, does he have experience debuffs or what? Damage over times? Oh, I mean, yeah. I think, yeah, he has some bleeding damage, right? I mean, he has actually lots of bleeding damage, right? 0 DPS right here? Yeah, that's true. That's actually that's not wrong. That's the true 0 DPS build. Trying to level as Retaliation Omega build. Nice speed leveling, yeah. As fast as you can level a Retaliation Archon, I guess. I mean, I could just level with Wire Smite or Primal Strike instead, right? Yeah, I don't want to get slapped by that guy. No, no slap arena for you. Got the Skybreaker. Nice. I don't really care about the Skybreaker though, I just want his Shattered Souls or whatever they're called. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a nice fight. And it's just gonna be me facing him unless he's using the fire, and then him dying like after 10 years of fighting him. Retal. Yeah, once I equip the gear, it's gonna be good, don't worry. Don't you worry. The hard thing is just gonna be like to get to 94. It's gonna actually be not that easy. Oh, whatever. I don't really need this shrine anyway. But I gotta go back anyway, right? So might as well craft the cold stone now. Start from scratch and play as you go stream. I mean, yeah, we can do that, but not tonight. Skinner's family is pretty good, right? But I would need more spirit, so bye bye.
Well, the world. Now that we're not in.
Alright, 79. Oh yeah, cold stone, right? What about crystals? Alright, see you around, Kerplunk. Thanks for being here, man. How do you solo group play? Like, you play in a group, but not in the same game, right? Like, you're playing in the group of me and you, but not in the same game.
Well met.
Shidoki Kihibori, thank you so much for the follow. Hajime mashite, and welcome to the stream. Solo grouping new meta. Oh wait, it's actually Hajime mashite, watashi wa boku wa blah blah desu, right? And then dozo yoroshiku, right? I forgot dozo yoroshiku, I'm sorry. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, far into the dark side. This is my third Retaliation build actually, Inner Bloom. But it's not physical warlord, right? So it's still interesting. Also, it's gonna be quite a challenge to take this guy up to 94 in the first place. And he's pretty rippy so far. And also, I like cookies, you know. Time spent not streaming equals farming on this retail build. I wish I had the time, man. Mogara and Lucius. Wait, who's Mogara again? Who Omega Dog? Oh yeah. I know. The kitty, right? Yeah, the Manticore. Yeah, the Manticore. To be fair, I don't think she's gonna be a problem. Like the only things that are problems are skeletons or like groups of enemies. Forehead equals nickname for kids with abnormally large foreheads. Those of who are given this nickname are also known for not being funny party. Go Luxmere? Yeah, not while leveling, forget it. Locksmere with Loker set. The fuck? Oh yeah, the troll is actually nice as well. That's true. Upcoming troll. Upcoming troll with like 7% full dress and no armor. I still have this devotion point to assign, right? Where do I put it, chat? What is this? 20 away? HP? What is this? 20 DA? Cold damage? No, lightning damage. 20 physique, 20 cunning is not too bad. 20 physique, 20 cunning is actually not bad, yeah. Don't mind. 80 HP, 20 OA. Okay, this is. Oh, the requires an axe though. I'm not gonna have an axe, right? Wait, what am I not gonna have here? I'm gonna have a shield, that's all I know. That's a scepter. DA, slow res. 15 away. 50 physique, 15 spirit, 200 HP. Oh, poison res. Oh, I can just use this for now, right? I need the poison res anyway. Yeah, easy fix. Was that not assigned? Wait, what? Really? Oh, what the f— Oh yeah, because when I switched the augment on the metal, the Chaos Strike. Like, thanks for seeing that. Hey Kazimura, welcome, welcome. I was wondering when it's gonna proc. Yeah, let's scrim down player ever. Oops. Losing to Balar the Rock Eater on the level. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Also, what about you, Casimiro? Did you have a nice New Year's Eve? You're getting smacked at SR85? Really? Even though you have like the more kiting oriented version. Interesting. It's pretty early, or like, I don't know, SR80 is not pretty early, but or like 85 is not early. Right, SR80 is never early. I kinda wanna wait for his attacks, yeah. Or not face tank too much here. What the? Oh, it took like no damage so far, right? What the hell? Fucking 0 DPS build, man. I think he has pretty like nice telegraph attacks, right? So it's like pretty nice to dodge him. Oh wait, that was not a big smack actually. He's gonna do a big smack now. No? No? Dude, what's wrong with your rotation? Ah? Okay. Yeah, okay, now he's... What the... Okay, just die. I have one on the weapon, but not ready right now, right? The queen though, like the queen will be interesting. And the hive and amalgamation. It's also not ambitious. Alright, let's put this like that, and then this like that, right? And probably like pull 1 point from resilience actually, like 6 is pretty terrible, just put it at 5. So we got like +1 war skills to Oathkeeper now, right? That's to 12, that's to 16. So what do we do with the remaining points actually? I guess we go for 40 here and really Blood Pact after all. And maybe move on to the Haven. Hey Carbe, how are you? And Circle of Life as well. Welcome, welcome. Happy New Year to you guys. Definitely have to clear out the emulation, otherwise it's cheating. Emulation. I don't know about that one. While leveling, you say? Everybody's being debated in by the 0 DPS build. I might wanna switch around one thing now though. I might wanna use Aegis instead of Judgment now actually. Right? Yeah, let's do that. The Aegis should do more damage, I think. Let's do this at some point, I guess. Oh yeah, no, I wanna risk it over here. This guy will do more damage. So what the retaliation damage added to attack, man? Don't be like that. Might as well pick up Soiled Trousers.
Well met.
I mean, they have retaliation damage as well, right? That's true. You know Brown, thanks for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Just use Searing Ember, yeah. Just you wait and see when I'm level 94, guys. Just you wait and see. Oh, I was waiting for the judgment, but there is no judgment anymore. Whoops. Wait, I had nothing like on proc on judgment. How did I have nothing on like the best procer ever? Interesting. Okay. Build of the year, man. This is gonna be it right here. Also, I'm a retard, right? I mean, you already knew that, but... Why do I not have the Guardians out? It's like literally my only resistance reduction. What am I doing? Oh, shit. I can feel that. That's gonna be my year. My year of... I don't know. My year of being the best at Grim Dawn.
These up. I wasn't sure you. I'm going to check it.
I'll skip the Legion is split on 2 fronts.
Alright, before I do the Queen though, I wanna like catch up a bit here, right? Because there are quite some things that give me some some experience here that I wanna get before proceeding. Wait, you're actually killing this elite? Really fast? What? Maybe not super fast, but we killed it. Ketchup. Yes. Do you guys prefer ketchup or mustard on your sausages? And also, do you guys like sweet mustard? I don't know, is that even a thing outside of Bavaria? I don't know. Mustard and onions. Alright, 81, only 30 more levels to go. Alright, let's do the ketchup. Sweet spicy. Oh, that's juicy.
Come, friend, right to business. Nobody's been.
Okay, number 1. Number 2 over here. Been there, done that, right? Oh, what the? I need to learn how to talk to NPCs, please. Thank you. mustard and sauerkraut. Seems good. I talked to these guys already, right? But I didn't talk to Minova yet. She's gonna give me another attribute point, right? It's gonna be pretty handy. I absolutely have to check now if I need more spirit for my endgame build. I might need more spirit, right? I need to actually put 4 points to spirit, there we go. I knew it. Alright, so this is actually gonna be a spirit point then. Because otherwise I'm just gonna forget about them. No ketchup here, no ketchup there. Okay, that's it. I should probably not use that. Mechanical engineer Monkas, thank you so much for the 100 bits, man. Thank you so much for the cheer. Face blue, man. Where am I from? Take a guess. Look at this. Mythical Codex of Lies was under the stone, right? The fuck? It's like the most broken item for Aether Ray. I like Aether Spellbinder at least. Just hiding under that rock. Am I Swedish? That's actually not too bad. Like, your guess is not too bad. Because Swedish is my second language. But I'm not Swedish. I'm German. Hidden book, yeah. True, basically a hidden book. Yeah. Hidden purple book. Didn't know I can speak Swedish. Va? Vad menar du? Holy shit. I mean, it's not perfect. Like, my Swedish was better when I was younger, but I do still speak and understand this. Like fluently, or like, I don't know, if you consider my English fluent, I don't know. So considering, if you would consider my English fluent, then it would only be like 3 languages, right? Like German, Swedish, and English. But then I can also speak like a little bit of Spanish and Japanese, but that's definitely not fluent, neither of those. It was like enough to communicate with people when I was on Cuba, but other than that, it's like not that great, my Spanish. English is the hardest language in the world. I mean, it's not that easy actually. It's okay, but it's there are definitely easier ones. But yeah, English is not too hard. It's like somewhere in the middle, I would say. How did I learn Swedish? I used to live there like a part of my life together with my parents. When I was a kid. Like, I still go there like at least once a year. Sweden's pretty nice. Isn't Finnish one of the crazy ones to learn? Yeah, like when it comes to pronunciation, Finnish is easy, but when it comes to grammar, Finnish is like one of the hardest languages in the world, if not the hardest. Like, pronunciation is really easy. But, yeah, like grammar is crazy. How do you say that in English again? Like, for example, in English and German you have like 4 grammatic cases, right? And in Finnish you have like, I don't know, 20 or something like that? All you need is 1. Yeah. Try learning Chinese. Yeah, Chinese is also really, like, pronunciation in Chinese is crazy. Like, to be able to, like, if one of my best friends is Vietnamese, and Vietnamese has like the same, like not the exact same pronunciation, but like a similar pronunciation system. And yeah, it's crazy. At least Vietnamese writing is easier than Chinese writing. But I mean, I had to learn some of these like Chinese characters as well when I was learning Japanese. And yeah, it's pretty hard. And you're kinda never finished with learning those, because there are always more. Like, even many Japanese people don't know all the characters, because they don't use most of them at all. There are some special ones that they only use for like that, or like that only people that use them for like the field they're like working in, they use them for work, but other than that they don't use them. Vigorous of alacrity, well that's pretty terrible, right? I mean, alacrity is never that terrible, but it's still terrible. Vigorous is pretty bad. And like, alacrity is not really what you want on that ring, right? You want like more HP or more regen or more something that gives you more tankiness, right? It's like a tank ring. So you don't really want alacrity on that. I Arabic's hard too, yeah, I've heard so as well. I've never tried it. The girl you're in love with speaks 5 languages and is brilliant. Holy shit, that's amazing, yeah. What is she able to speak? Like which languages is she able to speak? Just in time for the Derp Queen? Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, you might get smacked here by the Derp Queen. I would say like in Japanese, I mean, yeah, it's like another writing system. Like, okay, Japanese, the problem with Japanese is it doesn't have one writing system like every other languages. It uses 3 different writing systems, right? And like in the same language. 2 of those are pretty easy to learn. 2 of those are kind of like an alphabet, and the 3rd one is Chinese characters, right? Chinese characters is pretty hard to learn, the other 2 are kind of easy. But when you like walk around in the cities in Japan, things are gonna be written like, I don't know, like one character is gonna be from the one writing, the other one from the other writing, and then the 3rd one from like the Chinese characters, right? And mostly the Chinese characters are gonna like fuck things up for you, so I don't know. That's but Japanese pronunciation is way easier than, I would say Japanese pronunciation is really easy actually. It's easier than German or English, and especially way easier than Chinese pronunciation. She speaks English, French, Japanese, German, Russian, and some Italian. Nice. How come? Because there's usually only like one. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty easy. It's just easy. Like, I don't know. It's so easy to pronounce. Everything is like very hard to pronounce, right? And there's like no like different ways to like say the same consonant. Like, there's only always one way to say one consonant. And also the same for vocals as well. Like, there's only one way to say them. And there are only 5 different vocals. And yeah, it's really easy. And yeah, it sounds like it's written. Like, you always, like, almost always write everything in the same way as it's written. Gonna stop right there. The difficulty is to read it in the first place. Like, if it's written like in one of those Japanese, like without Chinese characters, and you know all of the like characters from the normal Japanese alphabet, then it's like really easy to write. But once there are like Chinese characters in there as well, and you don't know like the 10,000 Chinese characters, and you're like, I don't know, maybe you only know 9,000, but there's like one of them used that's from the other 1,000, then you're like, well, I can't read it. So that's a little bit frustrating sometimes, but alright, they're queen, here we go. How can she slap? Ah, she can't slap that hard actually. Never mind. I didn't want to use a pot for this, but she's like spawning all this trash as well. Let's stack up the wines here. I mean, the wines don't need any damage anyway, right? Without Bramble wine shield, right? Wait, is Bramble wine shield at level 84 shield actually? Maybe it is, right? Maybe we can use it right now. Like in my 1 level. I gotta check. That would be awesome. And I would finally have some damage.
Well met.
Yo, Magnum 4571, thanks so much for the follow. Much appreciated. Imagine almost dying to a one yellow troll. I don't know. That never happened to me. Yeah, I played it a little bit safe though. Like I just phase tanked the second phase whenever I had Ascension and the pot up, and didn't when it was on cooldown or like down. So yeah. That's like the safe way to do it. Has one of your characters ever died while leveling? Yes. Quite a few of them actually. For example, I mean, this one even died at level 1. I don't live in Warsaw, Warsaw though. No, I don't live there. Wait, who told you that? This is where your portrait still kept? You mean for the skip? It's... no, it's over here. No, here, Sarah's Bastion. Yeah, you got me. Yeah, those are like my top tier deaths ever, I guess. I mean, there's some other ones that are just really funny. Alright, Amalgamation, it is time. I'll check the skies. Making me unable to heal from Constitution. Are you kidding me? I don't really want to face tank that, to be honest. How am I down to 7 pots though? I'm out of pots, guys. Top tier build. I mean, I would rather be out of pots than die, right? Than dead. Yikes. I could have actually face tanked out, I guess. I still had that extension up, right? Oops, it was a mistake. Monka. Wild Rhythm of Celerity. Wait, I know who needs this one. This is the one that Plasma Strike needs for his Acid Aether Ray build, right? Wild Rhythm of Celerity. That's actually perfect for him. Last time we played, yeah, that's what just happened. Right? What? talk to this guy first.
Well met.
Also, Licks Bugs, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream.
There was much ice my scouts had
I
reported.
hope you're not gonna get sick from licking bugs though. Oh yeah, let me check the Bramble Vine real quick. I need to open my GD item assistant first. This might lag a bit now. So I should talk to this guy. To Creed, I mean to Archon.
There are two others. I have come to
Wait, I use cluster? You ice cream it. Wonka. Dude, you Norwegians are crazy. You're having ice cream all year round, right? Because like in summer it's cold anyway. But might as well have ice cream in the winter as well, right? Seems good. Alright, what do we go for here? What do we take? What do we use? Oh yeah, we will just wanna go for those, right? Just some stats for now. Also, yeah, I told you I'm gonna forget to put more points in the spirit. I need to still put 2 more points there. Okay, item system is ready, hopefully. Here we go. Am I a reptile? Am I a reptile man? I don't know. Bramble Vine. So mythical Bramble Vine is indeed a level 84 item. That's juicy. Just gonna use a random one now because I don't wanna use the one with, you know, checkpoint. I mean the one with there you go. The one with the component on it. Because I do need to use the Aether component anyway, Compute Silver. I mean the Chaos one actually. So get Silver here, put it over there. There we go. And now we wanna do what? Nothing, just chill and level, I guess. But yeah, finally Grasping Vines should deal us some damage now. Oh, that's what you meant? I mean, yeah, you can still eat ice cream in winter, but it's just, like, where I live, it's pretty unusual, I would say. Or at least not too many people that I know do it. Okay, so Grasping Vines kind of still deals no damage, right? Even though we have the Bramble Vine equipped. But yeah, hopefully we're gonna get more Retaliation damage later, right? This is only a 700 bonus right now, and yeah, the numbers are pretty low. I don't have Retaliation gear on me except for the belt on the gloves, right? And the weapon, I mean the shield, I guess. It's almost like sugar and cream is a good combination. Almost as if. What the hell? Am I gonna lose to Nafamia? Holy shit, he hit me for like 5k, right? Wonka. Yeah. Why isn't this working better? I don't know, like... Shouldn't Yeah, that's what I said, like, that's what I meant. Like, retaliation builds are really gear dependent. That's like the main problem with retaliation. So if you were like a beginner, you wanna play a retaliation build, it's probably not gonna work that well. You kinda need the gear. Otherwise it's just gonna be as bad as mine right now. Like, retaliation devotions are nice, but not really good enough, right? Also, we need a experience potion here. Hopefully the last one. How many of these do I have? 3. Okay. I also need to kill Bolvar, right? Also, I remember being here and dying, so I shouldn't die. I actually died here at level like 91 once as well on my character. So yeah. Don't die in the blood grove, people. Gear dependent and boring. Yeah, for the most part it is. I mean, it's not as bad as pet builds, but like, also it depends kind of which type of retaliation builds you play. If you're just playing like retaliation and I don't know, like just sword and board default attacker or something like that, that's pretty boring. I guess Grasping Wands is not like the most exciting ever as well, but I've never played the skill ever before, so I want to do like at least one build with it. And there are only like 2 different builds you can do with it, right? There's either Acid Retaliation or there's like Vitality with a Wild Blood set. And that's it. Triple Seal, holy moly. That's juicy. Alright, where the f is Bolvar though? Oh, there he is. Wait, will I go there? No, this one not. Good night, Magnum. Thanks for being here. Sleep well. See you around. But I tried a Retal Water when the DLC came out, it was bullshit strong. Yeah. Like if you tried Physical Retal, that one got nerfed. If you tried Lightning Retal, that one got actually buffed. Oh wait, I don't even have this ability anymore. Why am I trying to spam it? I mean, now that I don't have the ability anymore that reduces enemy DA, maybe I should pick up Judgment after all now. Right? I should probably start using Judgment again. Which means we're gonna go back and respec for the I don't know how many time. Let me get to the exporter first though. It's more important. Toss a coin to your Witcher. Have you been watching the new series so much? Oh yeah, I would like to use augments, right? Fuck my life. Usually I would be able to use them now, right? But yeah. Since I fucked up reputation gain, I'm not revered with anyone yet. Maybe you should put them here now. Clusters, you never know, right? What was I gonna pick up here? Oh yeah, I was gonna pick up Judgment again. So let's go and drop Haven to 5. And those to 32. Or even lower? I don't know. Let's just do it like this for now. Should be good enough, right? Judgment doing no damage, shield time, 4 hours later, maybe try Judgment again. Well, the thing is, like, Judgment has retail damage, right? And it has DA reduction. So before I was using it because of the weapon that also gave it OA reduction. But I didn't use it for the DA reduction because I had the other shield, right? And now I don't have the shield anymore. So I don't have like another source of DA reduction. Yeah. That's why I'm going back to this now. But yeah, it's kind of full circle. It's true. Also, I should probably put something over here, right? Those two Judgment aside. Lost my 5th hardcore character? Yeah, just make another one, right? I mean, in hardcore you just play for stash. I mean, you also play around like not getting hit, but you also play just for stash. And you play for blueprints, right? Like as long as you find blueprints, get more items for your shared stash, everything's fine. Exactly, flip your hand, just don't get hit. Pro tip right there, right? Unless you're playing a Retaliation build and you actually wanna get hit, but oh well. Also not too much when you're playing low-card stuff. Yes. Yeah, we actually don't trigger like our default Retaliation on this guy, right? Because he only has like ranged abilities. So we're only relying on Retaliation damage added to attack, and that's, I don't know, not really working properly right now. Also, how am I again missing these guys? Holy shit. Wondering about 0 DPS when you don't have Guardians out. Seems good. This guy. Oh wait, we gotta go over here. To the left, to the middle. Wait, now that bone weapon I had was pretty nice actually. Level 45. What did you die to? That's rather early, actually. Like 1 to 50 shouldn't be... I mean, no, 45 is what? Act 5 probably, right? Yeah, as long as you max out all of your resistances, you shouldn't really die in normal difficulty. Unless you fight against like some specific enemies that you don't know how to fight against. That's why I'm asking, like, what did you die to? To maybe help you out a bit. And also, which class did you play? Like, Vitality, Casters, and Death Knights are by far the easiest to do for like the first character, I would say. Other than that, I mean, the best build is the one that you feel like most comfortable with, right? I mean, yeah, if he has the Crucible DLC, then you can do that as well. Like, do 1 to 10 5 times for 5 devotions, or 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 10 times for 8 devotions, right? I wouldn't run it more than that, man. An elite near the start. Oh yeah, 45 at the elite is not that. You should maybe try to level to like level 50 first in normal before going to elite. Max was 70. Okay. If you do well against this shrine, that's like a good sign that the build is not too squishy. Let's see. Also, the spawn doesn't seem to be. Not too squishy with Looker set in 2020. It was a good panic cluster though. I'm actually proud of myself. Holy shit. Like, I did not think about that cluster at all. It was just reactions. But yeah, I should have been more careful with that shrine. Like, that shrine is always a little bit more close. Not too squishy, oh my god, look. Yeah. Imagine not being squishy with local set. Poison best for visuals? Yeah, but just for because of Abomination. Like, when you're playing a build like this, you don't have Abomination proc, right? So then it's actually not that nice when it comes to visuals. If you have the Abomination devotion, like this node over here to the left, this one. This one is like a nuke. Poison nuke. It's really nice. It looks good at least. Ah, the armor looked cool. I mean, I don't know, that's like... that's very, like, subjective, I would say. Oh yeah, those are BS where you build with flappy hand style. It's like the best look. Or you'd use like the crate box, right? Actually, Horns of Kovak are probably even worse looking than the box. Aether green is pretty cool. That's true. It's not really like, I mean, the poison green is a lot more on the yellow side, and the aether green is more on the blue side. It's more like a teal, actually. It's pretty nice. Ice cream adventure for you. Let's move a bit out of this previous round. I feel like they still have to like buff Kairos. Like Kairos is, if you compare Kairos to like Kronle and what's it called? To Kronle, Amalgamation or Krieg, he just feels super weak. And chance to make Regiment Green. Yes, if you use the Drieg Eleanor sword, like the Drieg Eleanor two-hander, that one makes Judgment Green. Like an acid retaliation RF plus judgment build. But yeah, it's also acid retaliation, not standard acid. I compare those fight to amalgamation, right? Like, how many times did I have to like disengage here? Like, I don't know, one time maybe? Not even one time. Really. I mean, yeah, I have to like dodge the pools, but that's it. But it's two-handed, yeah. That is the... I mean, if you don't like two-handed, then that's the problem. That's a pretty nice sword, though. Pretty fun. Definitely. The misery weapons. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the misery weapons that much actually. They're pretty okay, but nothing too amazing. I mean, they're pretty fitting if you like play a dual wield knight blade. That's true. They're not bad for that. It's ever usable. Like it's not a bad like it's not a bad weapon. I mean, hood, right? It's not bad at all. It's just like once you have good items, it's not good enough anymore. Right? This doesn't hold up. Maybe I should like keep one or two of them. Not too bad. Called by Trickster with full poison transmog. Oh, tricky, tricky.
I am told that I can win the Legion.
Like when you see him, you're like, if you're like in mob in Grim Dawn that wants to fight your cold Trickster, you're like, okay, maybe I should get acid resistance against him, and then you're surprising with your surprise cold damage instead of poison damage, right? Oh, and the enemy mob got debated. Right, something like Kubakaba, right? Like he has this dense fur against you, but no chance against poison. Alright, we got 1 point there, because why not? And then 1 point here, and there maybe? Oh yeah, I did lose +1 all skills to Oathkeeper, right? Huh. Because of the weapon. Yeah, true.
I don't know what.
Alright, let's do some Pine Barrens, right? We need to do it anyway. Can you tell me which is a build strong? I mean, which... Can you tell me a build which is strong for a new Black Bean Death Knight? Yeah, I would go for either Death Knight or... like a Vitality caster like Kabbalist. Like either a Conjurer, which is Shaman and Occultist, or anything Necromancer plus Vitality support. So for a secondary you can use either Occultist, Shaman, or Oathkeeper. So yeah, Oppressor, Kabbalist, Ritualist, and Conjurer are all like really strong for Vitality casters. And the reason why Vitality casters are really strong is that you can make it work really easily with like green weapons from, say, for example, Mountain Deeps, like over here. You get like a Bone Spike when you're playing a Necromancer, or like a Bone Blade when you're playing a Conjurer. Those are really good. And also the shield, like Bone Blade and the shield from Mountain Deeps are really good for a Conjurer. Other than that, it's also because you have a target farmable endgame set in the low-card dungeon. It's not that easy to get, like the Death Knight set is easier to get, the Creek set. But Vitality casters have like the benefit that many of their abilities actually heal you. Like Devouring Swarm heals you, Sigil of Consumption heals you. And then you can use the Bat Devotion, like whenever you're playing a Vitality caster, you should immediately rush for the like Bat Devotion, this one here. And then either use this on your Ravenous Earth if you're playing a Necromancer, or on, say, I don't know, Bloody Box for example when you're playing a Conjurer, or Devouring Swarm works as well. It's pretty nice. Yeah, Creek set is so nice because you can actually farm it in Elite and you don't have to go to Ultimate to farm it, whereas the Dark one set for Vitality casters, you need to do that in Ultimate. But once you have the Dark one set, I would say that Dark one Vitality casters are actually stronger than Creek set soldiers, or like Creek set Death Knights. And yeah, like before those sets, like both are pretty easy to play. Like Vitality casters use the weapons I just told you, and just all the skills that can heal themselves as well, and also use the Bat Devotion. And Death Knight just uses a big fat two-hander, and I don't know, you play just Force Wave with it. Like Force Wave with the two-hander and the Tremor that allows you to spam Force Wave is probably one of the safest and easiest ways of leveling in the game. Yeah, I have Reckoning build based on mostly lightning damage. Yeah, for lightning damage you basically only have the Cyclone set, like full Cyclone set. I mean, I think you can also make something work like with a two-hander, but that is definitely worse than Cyclone set. It's possible though. Pretty nice as well. Hey, Polus Max, welcome to the stream. I gotta be a little bit careful with these Manticores, right? With no armor. Too many at the same time. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can make almost everything work in Dawn, like probably everything actually. Just some things need some more items and like a little bit more gear dependent than other stuff, but you can make almost everything work in this game, definitely. And yeah, when it comes to like clearing the main campaign, definitely everything can do. Like literally everything. You just have to like know how to build up. The Madly Omega lol. Maldly. I mean, I'm killing him faster than on Elite, right? On Elite this was even slower. So yeah, the Bram Revive does help a bit now. Definitely. Empiric Bone Scythe of Blood, Bone Blade. Yeah, so if you're playing like a Occultist for Vitality, the Bone Blade is really good. This one's not bad either for Necromancers, but I mean, yeah, it's not bad actually. Like if you want to do like Bone Harvest leveling instead of Ravenous Earth leveling, it's not bad either. But Ravenous Earth is just way better for leveling than Bone Harvest, I would say. Like Bone Harvest is not a bad skill at all, but yeah, for leveling, nothing beats the Ravenous Earth. Alright, we need 6 more levels. Also, we need to put more points into Spirit, right? I finally remembered. I don't need the Devotion, but the Tron is super cheap, so I'm just gonna get it. That's some additional experience, right? Pretty nice. Yeah. I don't know, like, if everything was balanced around Medley, then we would be at like builds doing Crucible in 2 minutes or something. Like, yes, his builds are good. Yes, most of his like game knowledge is good. Yes, he's good at testing builds, but he's not the only one. And like some of his feedback is good as well. Some of it is actually reasonable. But I don't know. He doesn't really understand the concept of like if something is between 5 and 10 minutes, it's fine. For him, it's like if it's between 5 and 5 minutes, it's fine. Right? Everything has to be the same on the same power level, and that's actually not that good for a game, I would say. Like, yes, different builds should be close to each other. Like, things should never be as far apart as, say, builds in Diablo 3 or in Path of Exile. But they shouldn't be like all the same, right? Like, why would you even play another build? Like, if it's literally the same, just like different colors. Madley, he's a guy he's like a build creator from the forums. He does create good builds, but he likes only tests them in Crucible for the most part. He's like a Crucible's tester basically, who does builds for Crucible, and he also like uses GG Stash to like basically cheat in all the items, which is fine as well. Like, I mean, some of the testers just do that all the time, right? So he does it as well, and that's okay as well, but I don't know. But since he's like only playing that kind of content, his views on some things are a little bit twisted, I think. Like, it feels like he doesn't sometimes know the exact balance. Yeah, Stupid Dragon is pretty nice. I like Stupid Dragon as well. And that's the thing, right? Like, Medley is one out of many builders, but the problem we have with him for the most part is that he behaves as if he's like the best build creator ever, and like nobody is even close to him. And that's just not true. Like, that's definitely not true at all. So yeah. Yeah, no, he's not like, he's only like a forum. He does have YouTube content as well, where he like posts like his Crucible runs, but that's about it. Yeah, very one-dimensional use. Yeah, exactly. That's true. Like, sometimes he's right with his one dimension, but sometimes he's not, and when he's not, he's just being ridiculous sometimes, because he thinks he's always right, and I don't know. But it's pretty funny, because the entire, like, one of the developers that's, like, mainly handling the forums is, like, regularly making fun of him as well whenever he's being, like, super ridiculous again. Yeah, they're only Crucible runs, nothing else. Like, you literally only test spells in Crucible, that's what he does. Like, he doesn't do leveling because he just creates level 100 character and puts that one in the Crucible. Like, he doesn't farm gear because he just creates himself all the gear as well. It's like, he does like the most efficient way of like testing builds for Crucible. Yes, that's what he does. Is it like a realistic way of approaching Grim Dawn? Not really. Like, not. It is a realistic way to like approach, I don't know, high endgame performance in Crucible, yes, but other than that, not that much. That's my current 100 hardcore that I'm playing. Says Kitsu. The Razor, the Venom Blade Dervish, yeah, that's a pretty standard build. It looks pretty nice so far. I mean, if you want more survivability, you can do like... I mean, you can use a Serenity Relic instead, right? That would be an easy fix for more survivability. Other than that, it looks pretty nice. And also, I don't really like the Black Matriarch ring that much. I think... try to farm Veloth, like the snake boss. What's it called? the Slith boss and holy shit, in Act 1, like the Devil's Crossing and the cellar. That guy's ring is really strong for acid overshots. Holy shit. This one is nice. Chill out. I kinda feel not having that anymore. Like, Bat gave me that additional lifesteal whenever I was fighting around, right? And now I don't have that anymore. It's kind of his bad. I don't have just the totem. That's only melee. Yeah, there's like a third-party program called GD Stash, and with that you can just create everything. You can even create things that don't even exist in the game, if you want to. I mean, Grim Dawn is fully moddable, so stuff like this exists. And that's like what many of the builders on the forums use, and that's also like one of the reasons why they're like able to test so many different builds in such a like short time. If they were to be like leveling all those builds in a like legit way, it would take them way too long. Or like they would be making like less builds. I mean, to be honest, like most of the builds would be done anyway, but by like other people. Like it's not that they're like the only brain out there. And yeah, they are pretty good at the game, but just because they like do everything like super fast, because they just like create characters, they act like they're like the only brain out there. But that's actually not true. Like, it's just like other people have the same ideas, but they can't like test it as quickly because they actually level the characters in a legit way, right? Like I do, for example. But I've had people tell me like, I mean, you're a good build creator. Why don't you just GD stash all of your builds and try to make more endgame builds? And I mean, it's not the only thing that I enjoy about this game. Like, I enjoy leveling as well. I enjoy streaming leveling for you guys as well. It's like part of the game. I enjoy to play the game it's meant to be played. You know? Yeah, Sorok probably still has the record for solo SR pushing in hardcore. Oh no, it's actually Reynan now, but Sorok is like this. He's like second place as far as I know. With like a SR plus chills, drives, or next and Ortros, I don't even remember. Infiltrator, right? Yeah. Either SR set and next and Ortros Infiltrator or Spellbreaker both work pretty nicely. Or you can also use chase drives instead of next and Ortros. Those are really good as well. If you're the thing is though, like for a Nightblade you have to be like decently skilled in Grim Dawn. If you're not like skilled enough to pilot a Nightblade, then you will probably die pretty fast. Yeah, when you took a break, yeah, exactly. I don't know. You would have to check out Reynan's Twitch. He has like a Hall of Fame, like below his stream usually, and there you will see like his Hall of Fame, his personal Hall of Fame, like all the builds that did like higher than SR80 or something like that. Right? And also with Grim Truslings as well, I guess. Let me check this out here actually. So Reynan. Reynard's probably the best pilot I know in this game. Yeah, this is Reynard 22, that's the switch, right? And then you have these builds down here. Yeah, he did SR90 on Code Spellbreaker, for example. On hardcore, like all of this is hardcore. And there, if you guys are interested, check him out, check his build up, check his builds out. He doesn't really have a streaming schedule or something like that, but he does stream pretty often. He doesn't have a mic and not the best quality either. But no, actually the quality has increased now, right? Because he has like better internet now. What am I doing? I used Ascension, otherwise still kiting around. Do you die on SR hardcore? Do you still respawn? No, your character is just dead. You have to restart at level 1. What is he doing? You gotta respect this guy. Like, he deals lots of damage. So I can only fist tank him when I have Ascension up. Okay, let's hope for, say, 2 levels here from, like, let's hope for level 90 here. Let's see. Did you respawn? Yeah, if you create a new character, that's basically how you respawn, right? Well, no, okay, that's gonna say it's gonna be level 90, yeah. Not even one whole level. It's kinda unfortunate. I think for now I just wanna... Yeah, 1 point here is fine, and then I wanna put like... I mean, this is just the best, right? Yeah, it's probably the best. Oh yeah, should we do the skipperoo, by the way? Let's do the skipperoo, the skipperoni. So yeah, if you don't like to do Dark Veil, I mean Astrakhan Road, I mean, once you've finished Dark Veil Gate and you have this rift over here available, go back to Dark Veil's Gate, go to the corner where I'm right now, and then click on these guys over here with a Shadow Strike ability or Blitz ability. And then you click over here, and yeah, then you don't have to do Astrakhan Mountains. Well, or at least part of it. And then you do the skip again, just like Sword said, exactly. Go back here again. Click on the same enemies, but you first have to open your map, right? The same enemies, and now we click on that portal over here instead. Pretty terrible one actually. Sometimes you even land like next to the next rift gate. Usually you would land in the corner over here, but oh well. Holy shit, circle. Thank you so much, man, for the 500 bits. Very much appreciated. Also from man, just here as well. Bonsoir, monsieur. Ça va? Lurk, lurk. Did you see how to efficiently level up though? Did you see that clip? Like how to heal for 14k when you heal, I mean when you're leveling. You seen that? Okay. Not even close, right? We're dropping a portal here, by the way. We're gonna go back there after we got the next portal. Like after we clear the next rift gate here. For the no, not the Kaldros quest, the quest, Sacred Ashes quest. Alright, thanks for being here, Kava Stena. Enjoy your ice cream. Holy shit, the resets are real. To farm common faction, you mean commons, or like any faction reputation? The best way to farm any faction reputation is to first do all the side quests related to that faction, and then do bounties. Like, bounties are a little bit boring, yes, but they are definitely the most efficient way to gain reputation as fast as possible. I need to be a lot more careful with the flash hearts here. They do hurt. Alright, maybe just go back to the portal. Maybe I should grab some ice cream as well. I don't have one from the... Maybe I should buy some to keep warm. If you mean Infamy... Oh yeah, if you're like sided with Vigil, but you want to like farm Infamy for Kamen's Chosen, you farm this place, Tomb of the Archon, and you also farm Fort Heron. Like, that's what I did to like get Kamen's Chosen / Vigil to Nemesis. They're home? Yeah, you have to farm the seller. Like, all the other Wendigos in Act 5 are not gonna give you reputation. Or like Infamy, it's only the seller, nothing else. So you have to farm the seller. Four more to the go. This is gonna be really terrible for the last 2 levels. I can really see it. Like, we went to ultimate like 2 levels earlier, right? I I kinda knew that, like, level 6, you have to be level 69 to go to ultimate. Everything else is just too early. At least when you're playing like this meme build here. Not doing the door skip? Oh yeah, whoops, I forgot. Alright, Sorok. You can just do a door skip on the first level there as well. You can like click it from the right side, like through the wall. And that way you don't have to like walk around. Yeah, if you want like a death recap, you basically have to stream. Or like record yourself playing or something like that. We need more Grim Dawn streamers anyway, right? Bring on the Grim Dawn streamers. Yeah. Like 0 DPS retal. It is for leveling. Yeah, just to wait for level 94. We'll see. Corrosive of the Void, those are terrible rolls actually. You want like cold damage or attack speed on them. I mean on the light hitter weapon. Carbine or Howda? We can take the Howda. Maybe we want some of these instead. Not really. Okay. Tetris? Oh yeah, time for Grim Dawn Tetris. Everything full, right? No, actually not. Oh, it's not the perfect Tetris. Yeah, it will definitely for this build, like night and day. Like the build right now is just borderline not viable. Like it's pretty garbage right now. It's just bad, right? What about this one? Terrible roll as well. This one is the plasma item. Gonna save that one. Eye of Reckoning. I didn't know Scorched Ants can roll Eye of Reckoning now. That's interesting. Bane Gargoth. Do I really want to do that? I should probably, right? I'm not gonna do it if like the Rift is next to Locksmere though. I'm gonna do Locksmere. Definitely not. Alright, I guess it's time for Lucius. It's like pretty bad to do him at like level 91. Ideally you want to do him at like 93, but we're missing 2 levels here. Still have only 11 HP pots. Yeah, like it makes no sense. Like I'm always so greedy on elite with experience potions, Then on ultimate I end up like wasting another one anyways, right? For like, I don't know, the last 15 minutes or something. Should have just leveled to like 70 or 69 on elite, right? Can we kill this elite over here? Ah, whatever. Yeah, we can actually. Do I have enough spirit to equip the weapon? Probably not. It's a scepter, right? Yeah, it's actually a scepter at 495. Yeah, I need to put more into spirit then. No, I need actually more than that now, Sorok. I forgot. I actually forgot about the scepter, you're right. Whoops. You're right. I need to put way more than that. 400. Wait. It's gonna drop me down to 2.818k, right? Like this. Tonic time? Yeah, it's probably gonna be tonic time anyway. Like, how many do I need now? 17, yeah, it's tonic time, definitely. Might as well just go like full never. Yeah, still tonic time, right? We have maxed out Shaman here, actually. I should just max it out as well. What am I doing? Yeah, I was actually maxing it out for the spirit. The thing is, though, I can't... Wait, where's the node? This one, no, it's cunning. This one is 15 spirit. I could use like 15 spirit there, right? This one is also 15 spirit, 15 cunning. Do I need... I want physique or cunning? I don't know. Probably physique, right? Is there something that gives me... Oh, that's 15 spirit, 15 physique, and 15 DA. Oh, that's not the first node, oops. So it's like always 15 spirit and then either cunning or physique, right? It's nothing more than that. Yeah, this is just Spirit of Winter, debate. Druid would be nice to have, right? Even possible? It's not quite possible, right? Because I would need to drop the Scarab for that, right? And have this on, I don't know, something, right? And then I would need one more blue for Messenger of War, which would mean I would have to get rid of the Shield Maiden, right? If I got rid of the Shield Maiden, it would be possible. Like, I could use, say, Panther instead, right? Or, wait. Yeah, I can like take out one of these points, right? Like this one. This would actually work. Now with the Dryad, reducing spirit requirement for weapons by 10%. This only needs like 450 probably. So I could drop down to 450. Only need 8 points for that. This is like a possibility, right? Maybe I'm gonna do this instead. We'll see, we'll see. I should probably start leveling the Dryad on, right? I mean, I'm gonna lose some retail damage, but the thing is, Dryad is... It's not too bad, right? Because Dryad actually reduces poison, so whatever... I mean, I don't really deal much poison damage because it's only acid, right? I was gonna think like about the reflect, but that's actually whatever. The build doesn't have good healing though, right? So Dryad is not too bad to heal. Also, I think like when it comes to skills, I was actually using. No, I'm not using Archon, right? No, that's fine. Skills are fine. Alright. Let's see about Lucius here. Yeah, it's like Dryad is pretty legit here for this build, I would say. It's kind of similar to the Targo build in a way, right? But you can save spirit points in a similar way. Gotta dodge this and that and re-engage. So we don't have Ascension up right now, so we gotta be a little bit careful with the stacking damage on the ground. Die, Lucius. Alright. I don't know, Lucius is actually, like, if you know how to play against Lucius, he's... compared to some other enemies, he's not that hard, actually. You gotta like dodge some abilities though, like the meteors from the skies, for example, and the other thing is probably even scarier. I mean, they're both kind of super scary, like both shotgun abilities, like the meteors hitting you, the shotgun after that as well.
It worked out. We cannot simply march up.
Pretty scary. But yeah, I gotta put more points in the spirit anyway, right? So we are just gonna put physique now and then use the tonic later. And also, yeah, we gotta push this up to 50. Also, Anasteria and Ultimate is a little bit more chaos as well, right? Because you use like Aether to, what's this, 50? Okay. Alright. I kinda would like to do the Bane Gargoth quest as well now. I have 85 kill stress anyway, right? Okay, let's do the Bane Gargoth quest, but I have to absolutely not fight Lokar, I mean Locksmere, right? Garbage roll. but we don't need it. Alright, yeah, like usually I don't even want to go like further than this for like, right? Because of Flash Hulks and also because of Chthonian Tyrants, right? But I don't know, in this case I might be forced to do it for experience, right? Cause like what else should I do, right? I could do like Hidden Path, but that's kind of monk-ass actually. Hidden Path is not that easy. And what else? Argate's Isle, I mean yeah, we can do that. I'm gonna do that as well. The Cannon Quest. The Cannon Quest is kind of monk-ass as well, right? I don't like it that much. Yo, SPD ESP, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated and welcome to the stream. Alright, so Locksmir's spawn is like over here. I don't want to go there. Definitely don't want to go there. Actually, the Flash Sharks are... Oh, that's... I had a heart attack there. For a moment I thought this is Locksmir like spawning on like a random location instead, but no, that's just Alara. Check it. Dude, not on level 98, 91 with Looker stats. No way, dude. That's a no-go. Too many flashlights there. Don't wanna really fight them actually. Where the hell is the Chthonian Rift though? There's like a spawn here, I think. Just need to get yeah, closer to 92. Yeah, to level up at the right moment. Dude, whenever you meet any elite, like any humanoid elite in this area, you're always like, oh shit, this lock's here. Oh no, it's actually not. This time is this, what is this guy? Reflect damage? Reflector? Did it like spawn next to him this time? I mean, I'm walking where like there's no spawn anywhere. Flashlights, yikes, dude. Yeah, I know. I should like get the rift gate though. What am I doing? I should get the rift gate first and then go back. Got it, right? We got it? Yeah, we got it. Now go back again. These guys are like so annoying and get like give you like 0 experience. Some reason to fight them, but anyways. Okay. So Luxmir's here, right? Yeah. That's where you don't want to go. Okay, there's the lift. I mean, maybe I should just do like a full clear on these levels. No? They're like pretty experience heavy as well, kinda. I can just go for Vanguard right away, right? Like, I don't need to search for the Spirit of Drogon. I have to go here anyways later for the Bourbon quest, so doesn't really matter when I do it. These guys are a little bit annoying though. They have like some pierce damage, right? My pierce plus is 77% only. It's not 80%, so you take like an additional, I don't know, 20% damage or something like that, or 15% damage. But they're slowed by grasping one, so that's pretty nice actually. Oh wait, how do we rat that again? I'm so bad at ratting. Just use this one. Wait, what? Is it like this? Maybe it got removed or something. Oh, Tyrants. That's actually not just a Vanguard. Okay, the Vanguards are fine, but the yellow mobs of these are like, they hurt so much, like it's unreal. Also this guy might hurt a little. Never mind. I don't know, this boss is so weak, like it's actually insane how weak this boss is. But yeah, we can do the double Tomb of Korra quest right now. After I hand this one in. It's pretty nice. That should give me... I mean, this quest will give me 92, and then the next two will give me like 93, and then we just do Hargate's Iron, and that gives me like 94, hopefully. That should be it. We'll see. here and put point there. Also, there's always like an 80 crystal here, right? And we do need all the 80 crystals we can get, so let's get that one. Actually, maybe this leveling route is not that well after all. Like, I went to ultimate at what, level 67 or 68, right? Maybe that's actually even better than 69. I don't know. Also, I want to do a full clear here because all of these guys can, I mean, at least the other mobs can drop like Chthonian seals of bindings, right? It's a pretty rare map as well that you wanna, that you always need some of as well. So kind of like blooms, right? I actually had 3 of them blew up the first time. Oh shit. First room. Yeah, it's like crazy how many you get here then. I kinda wish Dark Whale Gate was like the place to farm, right? And also like if Karos had an MI. Like imagine Karos has an MI and the guys in Dark Whale Gate drop like a little bit more those Chthonian seals, right? It'd be such a nice farming route actually. Because in Darkware Gate, Benjar can actually spawn, right? Whereas here he cannot spawn. So Darkware Gate with like potential Benjar spawn would be like such a nice place to level, to farm, right? But oh well. I would maybe finally get some Benjar shoulders then. As it is right now. Only gonna get them from SR or Crucible, right? Unless you do like, I don't know, hundreds of Bastion of Chaos runs, but... Well, why would you run Bastion of Chaos over literally any other dungeon, right? Unless you need like Bloods of Chthons, right? I feel like Bastion of Chaos needs more mines. It's a pretty bad place to farm, except for Bloods of Chthons, right? Like Steps of Torment doesn't really have many either, and I do think that Igor should get an MI. But other than that, like it's like also a really fast dungeon, right? So you get to Alchemos pretty quickly, and Alchemos doesn't only have one interesting weapon. He also has interesting rings, like 4 of them actually, like blue and purple, both are pretty nice. And also the green sword of Alchemos are like pretty nice as well actually. I mean, the sword and the Psych. At least they're like interesting weapons, not like the blue Word Eater. That one's just garbage. So you're like literally, like whenever you play Bastion of Chaos, you're like doing literally the longest dungeon in the game for literally only 1 MI and maybe some Bloods of Chthons, right? It's like such a bad place to farm right now. I really don't like it. Yeah, like the walls just make everything even more tedious, right? Like, Bastion of Chaos needs like a small rework in my opinion. Like every other dungeon right now is fine, even Port Verdery is fine in my opinion. Like, okay, like the guy that what the hell is this? Rocks? The what's it called? Jaren or whatever he's called, the guy that drops like the Aether Warp Cleaver. That MI is just garbage, but so that MI would need a buff as well, like a change. I think like it just needs a change because things it supports are like it's not a good MI. What should this boss do? Actually deals quite some damage. So yeah, SOT is fine except for maybe Igor needing an MI. Podvebri is fine except for maybe like a change to Jaren's MI should be like done because it's like probably actually literally the worst MI in the game, right? I don't know. It's so bad. And AG and the new dungeon are fine anyway, they're pretty great, I would say. In AG, like the new dungeon is just great overall. AG is pretty great as well, except for the fact that the MIs from the crabs are amulets, right? If they were medals instead, those would actually be useful or like usable. But since they're amulets, they're I don't know, pretty terrible, pretty meme. But at least you can make like a build with them, right? They're like meme builds, but at least you can make a build with them. And yeah, like, so yeah, AG and SOT and Podvebri all have just the same problem that like one of their MIs is either non-existent or like terrible. But that's fine, I guess. That's like not too bad. But fucking Bastion of Chaos? I don't know. It's just terrible. It has nothing. Except for World Eater, which doesn't exist, and then like what do you farm there? Like I guess when you're playing like a force wave build, you wanna farm like the obsidian cleavers, maybe? I don't know. And I mean also the Blood Chthons, right? But you also get Ancient Hearts and stuff like that from Ancient Grove, and you can just transmit the Ancient Hearts to Blood Chthons, right? Sorry to interrupt your conversation, more like my monologue, my rant here. Yeah, it's fine, just interrupt me. Welcome to the stream, Shidan. Since I'm doing a red build, is there any spell item besides Spectral Wrath that gives you like ranged retaliation? Not really, no. But you can get like retaliation damage added to attack, even to ranged attacks. For example, if you check out my builds here, right? Search for the Paladin, and the Paladin is a ranged retaliation build. Like it's using a gun, like a two-net gun, but it is a retaliation build basically. But yeah, it has like retaliation damage added to his main ability, which he uses with a gun, so you're basically shooting with retaliation damage. So yeah, it's technically it's still a retaliation build, but it doesn't really feel like a classical retaliation build. It's still a bit of a hybrid between like range and retaliation actually. The damage is just pure retaliation though. It's just like a playstyle, it feels like a hybrid. Yeah, let's just grab these from Tetris time. Tetris. Easy Tetris. Oh, we have so much room here, what the hell? Easiest Tetris of my life. Oh, okay, let's put these here. This one there, right? Okay. Passive retaliation on ranged enemies? No, passive retaliation only works. Like, passive retaliation by definition only works against melee attacks. Except for the one that you just saw, the Spectral Wrath thing here. But the Spectral Wrath is It's actually not retaliation damage. Like, it's not coded as retaliation damage. It feels like it is retaliation damage, but it's actually not retaliation damage. I should check the scepters. Like, these can be pretty nice. Oh, Shatter Reality? Yeah, look, like, this is not terrible. For like a Pyromancer? No, Shatter Reality is Aether damage, right? Never mind, that's terrible. No, Isn't Shatter Reality Aether and Chaos damage? I'm not sure, actually. It should be Aether and Chaos damage, right? Also, it's attack speed, but you don't need attack speed on this ever, right? I don't even know why it has like +2 to Solar Switchfire in the first place. Yo, Prime Neuron, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Oathkeepers of the Void with Smite. Those are like not terrible actually. But not really good either. Nothing amazing at least. I mean, you can just keep them. Because why not? Should we grab that 50 experience from the door note down here? It's probably a waste of time, to be honest. I mean, if you're interested in the lore, then you should definitely go down here to learn more about Father Kaiman. But yeah, the door notes were not really worth it, right? They're like more over here, right? Did I already grab them? I did grab them, right? Grimdawn build choosing is overwhelming. If you wanna play around that spell, you thought you wanna play as melee spellbinder. Oh yeah, Vindictive Flame looks like Spectral Wrath as well, that's true. Spectral Wrath is only always like a... now you can't really play around that skill, it's only like a self buff and it's like a... it's not like a... It's not an ability that you can like play around. I would say it's just like a nice self buff that you use for... You mainly use it as like a supportive skill for resistance reduction. That's what you use it for like physical Aether and Vitality resistance reduction. Other than that, it's not really usable. It is for endgame, like for leveling. Spectral Wrath actually kills lots of enemies, right? When you level a Necromancer, like a melee Necromancer, you can like max out Spectral Wrath ASAP and everything will just die by like from like hitting you, right? But it will fall off very fast and very soon, so... You can't really make a build around it. Actually, that's a little bit loud, right? No, that's fine. Ancient Heart, yeah, there we go. You get more Ancient Hearts from running Hargate's Isle than you get Blood of Chthons from Bastion of Chaos. I mean, not really, but I'm just hating on Bastion of Chaos right now. Even if I focus on Aether and Bit, yeah. Even if you do that. It's always, like an endgame is always gonna be a support skill. It's never gonna be like a full damage ability. Definitely not. And also in the very end game, like at level 100, you should also try to streamline your damage in Grim Dawn overall. All shit. Okay. I'm kind of proud of myself though. I don't need it to cluster that probably, but at least my instinct telling me to immediately cluster like that, that's really good. Like, my reactions are pretty good this year. Better than last year on the Conjurer at least. I don't really care about losing clusters, I just care about losing characters, right? I mean, this place is actually pretty easy. I don't know, like, I put myself into a position I shouldn't have there, and that's why I need to cluster in. Like, usually you don't need to cluster in this place ever, if you play it correctly. Even with low card self, like, it's pretty easy. It's a very easy dungeon, I would say. Yeah, but yeah, what I was gonna say is that in endgame Grim Dawn, like at level 94 plus, you do wanna make sure to try to streamline all of your damage. So you don't wanna deal like vitality and aether damage. You wanna deal just vitality or just aether damage, for example. So conversion becomes very important later on. It's just that like Spectral Wrath doesn't have like enough raw damage on the skill itself to like be able to use it as a like viable endgame ability. I mean, as like a viable main ability for endgame. Right? You're always gonna use it for a support on any physical, aether, or vitality icon as well. It's funny how I'm like down to almost 0 health potions all the time, but I actually did not have to buy a single one so far. I was down to like 4 pots at one point, right? I was using in-game RM tooltip on Spectral Wrath. Yeah. No, custom speed doesn't enhance it at all. I think if anything, cooldown reduction might work. I don't know, it's just like a whenever hit thing, right? I mean, the DPS stat does work. Like, it's not bugged or terrible like some people say, but you have to like know how to use it right. And it's only like it only takes into account your leftmost button or like rightmost button, right? Doesn't like take into account anything else. Also doesn't take into account offensive ability. Doesn't take into account crits, etc., etc. Right? So it's it does work, but it's very limited in use. Like, the dungeon's so hard, right? And then you fight Elena, and she's like the easiest boss ever. Like, what? How? Why? Like, they should buff Elena, in my opinion. She's just so weak. It's insane. Like this, like compare this water stuff to, say, what's he called? The guy from Titan Quest from the Styx River, right? The boatman. That guy has like way more awesome water animation than this thing. Like, Elena could have been like the ferryman of Grim Dawn, but she's just a meme. She has a pretty nice amulet though, which makes it even like more sad that such a weak boss had actually like a good MI, or like a decent usable MI, because then you would have to like fight the same weak boss over and over again. It's pretty boring actually. Like I don't really envy Plasma Strike having to farm her for his Aether. Wait, is this new? Wait, is that new actually? I've never seen that exit ever before. What? Did I always miss it? I mean, it's pretty useless because it just brings you back here, right? But still. Alright, Kitsu. Thanks for being here, man. See you around. Just go quit Grim Dawn if you buff Elena or what?
Well met.
Does you think it's actually good? Thank you so much for the follow as well, Kitsu. See you around. Take care. You remember the first time you encountered McDronald's with her and you ended the conversation with like, fuck you? Yeah, I did. I just died. I was playing softcore back then though. Alright, we are not quite on full yet. We need to do like one more thing. Return to Captain Reeve. Oh yeah, we can handle that quest as well, but hopefully it gives us 94 here. What? Wait, you actually... Wait, I thought he made the Avenger to be able to stand in Aether Ground. God damn it. So close. Alright, let's kill some more cultists then. Yeah, same Sorek. Yeah, I was pissed as well. I was like, wait, what? I mean, there are some Chthonians around, like cultists around, for like even if you don't repair it, right? And then I killed them and I was like, wait, why can't I still repair it? Hello? What? And like you don't have an idea about it until like you are on Elite, right? Because chances are on your first playthrough you're not gonna be like, you need to be honored with, or like, what is it? Respected or something with the guys in Act 2, right? I mean, chances are you're not gonna check back on them at that point in normal, right? So you just go to... like, you just go into Elite, and then in Elite you will find out. Like, I know I found out in Elite. Oh, actually we are 94 here. So we don't have to do the dungeon. Alright. That's gonna be it for the 1-2-94 ultimate part of this Archon, Retaliation Archon leveling. Stay tuned for the build highlight video, and thank you so much everybody for watching on YouTube. See you around. Alright, let's go naked here.